Good morning, everyone. Welcome to today's Rangers end-of-season media availability. We're joined first by Rangers stalwart Ryan Strome. If anyone has any questions, please click the raise hand button. We'll get started momentarily. First question comes from Molly Walker. Molly, go ahead.
Ryan, when you look back on this season and all that's happened away from the ice, was it at all bizarre to experience what felt like one thing after another, and how did you feel the team handled it?
Yeah, it was certainly bizarre. That's a good way to put it. I think we dealt with a lot of things, some things that the media might not even know about. There's a lot of internal things going on all the time and stuff like that. So, I think in a way it's made us stronger. I think it's definitely made us closer. I think the unity of the team today versus the training camp is, a lot stronger. Spending so much time together and being through some of these things. So, the challenge is obviously to move that forward. And I think with the some of the core guys here and some of the younger guys, and I think we're starting to build something and continuing to build, and hopefully we can learn from everything that went on this year and be ready to go next year. I think it's going to be important to have a good start, and I think the last two seasons we haven't necessarily lost our season in the beginning of the year, but we haven't helped ourselves at all, and to play catch up is tough in this league. So we got to learn from everything this year that's happened and be ready to go.
Next question comes from Vince Mercogliano. Vince, go ahead.
Hey, Ryan. First of all, just thanks for everything this season. And then secondly, to follow up on what you were just saying, how do you assess the season given all the stuff that you just mentioned? Like, do you feel more positive about the growth that you saw from the team, or is there more lingering disappointment because you guys didn't capitalize on the opportunity to make the playoffs?
It's a good question. I definitely think I see it as a season where I think we grew. To be honest with you, I think although the last 2 weeks are a little bit of a negative light on the team, I think all in all, I think there was a lot of chances for our team to fold it in, not completely give up, but we were 500, treading water a little bit. We lost our best player for whatever it was, 10 games or so, and we had a ton of injuries and COVID and. I mean, there's just so much going on. So I think the perseverance of the team through all that, I think, is a good sign. I think our team's only going to get older, only going to grow more, only going to become more mature. And I think if you look at the teams around us, I think they're kind of trying to win today. And I think if we can just continue on that upward trajectory and continue to compete against those teams and grow, I think that's the most important thing. So I think to have a negative spin on things would be just not the right message. I think with how young we are and what we've been through, I think we got to take it and learn and grow from it. I think certainly we will, and I think a little bit of a normal season will help too. I think not being able to travel to every NHL city and have full house at the Garden and all those little things, I think add to the difficulty for a young team and trying to find their way. And I think next year is going to be a good year. Hopefully we continue to grow, like I said, and I'm certainly optimistic.
Next question comes from Dan Rosen. Dan, go ahead.
So Ryan, you say you're optimistic. I'm curious, do you think next season, we don't know what's going to happen in the offseason, but do you think next season, based on where you guys are now, should be a playoff season for the Rangers?
Yeah, I mean, I think that's the goal. I mean, I think that message has been sent and received. I think when you have a Norris candidate, if not the Norris Trophy winner, you have a Hart candidate, you have MVP caliber players, you got a goalie, two goalies, really, three goalies. You got all the pieces. You got young guys. You got some older guys. I think there's a lot of things there that you can't just find. I think there's some things we need to, find to add to our team and things we need to find from within and to continue to grow. I think there's a lot that the players in that dressing room can do better. But all in all, I think we have a lot of things that you can't just find, and I think we have to continue to build and push towards that next step. And I'm optimistic, like I said, and I think with our team, I think anything can happen, and we just got to get into the playoffs so we know how hard that is in the NHL, and I think that's certainly the goal.
Next question comes from Bruce Beck. Bruce, go ahead.
Ryan, what would you like the fans to know about the tenor, the makeup of this team that kind of described this past year and really the tightness of this group going forward in your mind?
I mean, I think what the fans see is exactly what it is. I mean, we have a good time at the rink. There's good energy. I think guys care about each other. I think that's come a long way this year. I think spending so much time together has really helped that. And I think we have a lot of skill. So I think, it's just a matter of growing, honestly. Like I said, I think it's continuing to go on that upward trajectory, become a team. I think you see the teams that are in the playoffs, I think, they have some traits that are obtainable, and I think that's what we need to do. I think some of the things you can't acquire, we already have. So, like I said, I'm looking forward to it. I think the fans are looking forward to it. I think there's a really bright future here, obviously, as we all can see, and I think it's time to take that next step, and it's going to be everyone's individual responsibility to do that in the off season and come back and push together as a group.
Next question comes from Anthony Fucilli. Fuch, go ahead.
Hey Ryan, I know hockey's a year-to-year thing, but how do you as a team get off to a better start and you individual? What do you think is going to be important? Because you see the playoff teams that are in usually get off to good starts.
Yeah, that's something that I said the last 2 years we didn't, and I think it's not necessarily that you lose the season right then, but it's hard to play 20 playoff games or 20 playoff field games and have to go 15-5 to get in the playoffs. That's a tough ask in the NHL. So I think it's a matter of coming in. I think we can have a better training camp. I think more focus. I think we have to understand our roles quicker off the start of the season. I think we have to understand our systems and be ready to go. I mean, the NHL is a tough league, and there's no easy nights, and we can't ease our way into the season. We have to hit the ground running. There's no doubt about that. And I think the work ethic from this group's always been there. I think the leadership's there. I think the coaches push us hard, and it's just a matter of putting it all together. And I think with the preseason next year and a little bit more normalcy, I think that'll really help. And like you said, the start's so important. I couldn't agree more.
Next question comes from Vince Mercogliano. Vince, go ahead.
Ryan, we've seen so many changes in the past week with JD and Jeff out, and obviously we're all kind of waiting to hear what Drury decides next for Coach Quinn. So I think I'd be remiss if I didn't ask you, do you have any thoughts on Coach or the situation in general that you'd be willing to share with us?
No, I don't really know. I don't know. I don't really know anything, honestly. I just did my meetings, talk about my season, talk about the team, and that's it. And I think we'll see what happens. I don't really know. I don't make those decisions. I've grown a lot under Quinny. I came here 3 years ago, and I look at the player I am now. It's been a fun time. So, I mean, we'll see what happens. I have honestly zero idea. I did my exit meetings. I talk about my game, worry about what I need to do next year, and let those guys handle that. I don't have the answer for you.
Okay. Thank you very much, Ryan. Appreciate it.
Okay, thank you guys.